streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, returning home, understanding the darkness. This series of sutras forms the basis for meditation and darkness. But for that, you have to understand what is darkness. There is a negative darkness, there is a positive darkness. So the beginning is, in darkness enter forms of all forms. When you are entering the darkness, it contains all forms, so you are entering all forms. And this entering of darkness will empty you of negative darkness. It is a very deep phenomenon. So for that, first of all, you have to understand what is darkness, and then we design a meditation technique for it. The darkness that you have within you is negative darkness. It is the darkness that is against the light. And the darkness that I am talking about is positive darkness that surrounds the entire cosmos. And the light that comes from the sun, it comes from the dark regions of the sun. It is not and this darkness, which is positive in nature, is not against light. It is not the absence of light. There are two things. When light is not there, suddenly current cuts off, there is darkness. And you know only this darkness. This darkness is negative. I am talking about the darkness which is against light. It is not the darkness that Shiva is speaking of as the form of all forms. The real darkness that is there, we are afraid of it. And we have created many sources of lights just to avoid this fear, to create protection around us. And we live in a lighted world. Then we close our eyes and the lighted world reflects negatively inside. We have lost contact with the real darkness. That is there, the darkness of the essence, or the darkness that Shiva is talking about, the real darkness of which the existence is composed of. We have no contact with it. We have become so much afraid of it that we have turned ourselves completely away from this form of darkness. We are standing with our backs to it. So it is difficult, but if you can do it, then it will be miraculous, it will be magic. You will have a different quality of the being altogether. When darkness enters you, you enter into it. It is always reciprocal and mutual. You cannot enter into any cosmic phenomena without the cosmic phenomena entering into you. Like drop cannot enter into the ocean until the ocean enters into the drop as well. So the process begins from one. Process can begin from me to enter you. Then as a reciprocation, you have to enter into me so that the process is completed. You cannot do the otherwise. You cannot force, you can only allow it to happen. Therefore, it is very difficult to find the real darkness in the cities now. I have experienced when I was a little boy in my town, one of the disciples of Lalaji, who was carrying on his own business, a spiritual business of course, came to the city where I was living. When the person who was in charge came to know about my mother, so he invited her to come to the meditation. So it was a big tent where many people were sitting, and it was the arrangement was at a public place. He said, we are going into meditation and we will close our eyes, and then as the meditation happens, light will come. Alright, so we have to keep the eyes closed, but I remained with my eyes open to see where the light is coming from and what light he's talking about. So all the lights were turned off in the tent, in the place, and then 5 minutes after, the light was turned on. So I asked the person, because I was sitting next to him, I said, where the light came from? He said, the light came. I said, this is not light. This is a lighted object. The light that comes through the meditation is totally different. It is, we consider lighted object as light. He remained quiet and did not answer my question, and he said, I will have to answer you afterwards. So it is difficult in the same way to find the real darkness in the cities or in our homes. We turn off the light and we call it darkness. But it can be a good example to start with. If it is possible for you to go to a place because we have lighted objects in our house, so this in itself is an unreal phenomenon. Even our darkness is polluted and it is not real. So it is good to move to some remote place where you can feel the real darkness. And inside the room, when you are sitting down to experience darkness, you cannot experience the fears that it will help to remove, because the room is already protected. Room is already protected. Nanak used to go and meditate in the cremation ground, where there is no boundaries. Anybody can come from any side. Any animal, any person can come from any side. So it happened one day, the family members and friends were looking for Nanak. Nanak was not seen anywhere. So someone told him that I saw him going towards the cremation ground. They went all, they saw Nanak sitting down in lotus posture under a tree. So they asked, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I am meditating." Is cremation ground the place of meditation? You can do the meditation in temple, here and there. So Nanak said, "Tell me, the whatsoever place that you are talking about, is it permanently yours? The house is yours today, tomorrow it will not be. It will be taken away by death, taken away by anything else. But whosoever comes here and is given a place is a permanent place and nobody can take it from you. So which is a permanent and real place? Is the cremation ground or what you call?" So when you are sitting in that place where there is no light coming from any side, you are, and there is all possibilities from all around are there, anything can happen. The bugs can come in, you are sitting on the ground, and anything can happen. But in the absence of all that, we can avail of the opportunity that is available to us, and slowly that can make a difference. I recall many times the place where I am living. In the morning around 4 o'clock, I open the door and go out to put the garbage and feed for the birds. Earlier when we had the plants, so at that time I will water the plant. My landlady told me that you should not go out at that hour because it is very risky. The bandits and those kind of elements may be there. I said, okay. And if I decide to sit down outside, which is not protected, where the vehicles are parked, I have a chair, I can sit down. At times I will sit down there in the morning at 4 o'clock. So being by the roadside, you can hear the vehicles buzzing, this noise. At times when there is darkness, the street light, at times the street light is off. So you can sit down. So the main purpose is to remove the fears from your mind. But when you are sitting and doing this meditation within the four walls of your room, it can help to some extent. You can penetrate through that darkness to some extent. Not completely. It may take a little longer time. When you are in an open, unsecure place, which is not yours, not created place, then it may take maximum 7 days for you to complete this meditation. So it is difficult to find the real darkness in cities now. So difficult in our homes to find the real darkness, because there is security, there are walls, you have closed your room door, you have turned on the light. With unreal light, we have made everything unreal. Even our darkness is polluted, it is not pure. So it is good to move to some remote place only to feel darkness. Just to be in a very remote place where there is no electricity, or move to a mountain peak, just to be there for a week to experience pure darkness. I recall when for the first time I traveled to United States. Their streets do not have the lights. street lights. So this was strange to me, and it happened when I was going by car by my daughter's place in Virginia. The street lights was not there, and by the time we started early in the morning from Fort Lauderdale, and by the time we reached there it was pitch dark. When we were on the highway there was no lights, so only the lights of the vehicles you can see, and in that light the animals crossing the street. So you do not want to deers and others they crossing over the highway. So that kind of light, if you can sit down outside on the ground, or you can keep a chair, and you can do it every day for a certain hour, because the vehicles also pass, the frequency is more during a certain period of time, thereafter it stops. There is a particular time when even the traffic becomes very scanty. It's not the vehicles coming and passing so fast. The outside you can sit down, so there is place is insecure. Anybody could jump over the fence or come in, and you are sitting there. Sometimes the street light is not there, or light has completely cut off. So that time when you go, you can experience the moment of real darkness. All this is the absence of light, and it is absence of lighted objects. So it can be helpful to you. You will, if you can do this, you will come out to be a totally different person, because in those 7 days of absolute darkness, all the fears, all the primitive fears will surface, and you will have to face monsters. You will have to face your own unconscious moments, unconsciousness. The whole humanity it will be as if you are passing through the whole passage that has passed from the life before to the present moment, and deep from unconscious many things will surface. They will look real. You may get frightened, afraid, scared, because it will be so real, and they are just nothing else. They are not real but your mental creations. Most of our fears are our mental creations. Many madmen are in the mental asylum, and they are suffering from primitive fears. So there is nothing. In Japan, as I had mentioned, they have worked towards this. With their madmen, they behave totally different manner. If someone goes mad, psychiatric or neurotic, Japanese method is allow them to live in isolation for 3 months. You can practice a certain thing for a day. You decide that you are not going to do anything. You are not isolation, no thoughts. You will not attend to any phone call, any message, nothing there. So you can create an isolation around you, as the case may be. They have allowed these people to live in isolation. No doctor, no psychoanalyst goes to him. How long you can remain talking to yourself alone. Many times you would have noticed that there is no one to talk to you, but you are talking to yourself alone. But as the meditation deepens, as the process of transformation continues, you will realize that your auto talking is becoming less and less frequent. And in those places in the night, there is no light. In the darkness, he is all alone, suffering, of course, passing through many phases. Every care is taken, but no companionship is given to him. He has to face his own madness on his own, immediately and directly. This is the purpose of this entering into the darkness as form of all forms, and then using this as a meditation technique. The Western psychiatrists were amazed. They became amazed when they could not understand really how it could happen, because they have been working for years and nothing is happening. They psychoanalyze, they treat, they do everything, give all kinds of medicine, but never leave them alone. So no phone, no way to contact anyone. You are sitting all alone, and even when the person is bringing the food for you, he is not talking to you. Even if you talk, he will not answer you. But he will make sure that all the arrangements are there for you to sleep, for the restroom and other comforts are there, but nothing. The more you make him helpless, because if your darkness is there, light is cut off immediately, but the phone is charged, you immediately call and find out from someone. The more a person depends on the other, phone is the other, because that is the only thing that you can do. The darkness is there, you know there is darkness, you cannot go to sleep. So what you are doing, you are turning on your laptop because it has a current, but it may not have the Wi-Fi connection. So we try to do so many other things, but the best thing is just to remain lying down on the bed with your eyes open and enter that darkness. You have to come to terms with your unconsciousness. This is the way to come to terms with your unconsciousness, and this meditation and darkness will absorb all your madness completely. Try it. You can do it even at your homes. When I am finished with this, I will explain the device, the techniques, when I am discussing what has to be done with the person who has missed the cycles of life. This was a question asked. So after I finish the sessions of Tao Overflow, where I am speaking, started today about those masters whose life was uncorrupted. So Gautam Buddha was the first one. Then after that comes in Swami Vivekananda, born in 1863, and then comes Osho, born in 1931, and before that, although Osho and Jiddu Krishnamurti were contemporary, Krishnamurti was born 1895, Osho was born 1931, Vivekananda 1863. So all those, when I am finished, then I will take up that series where for all those seekers, all those persons who are desirous to enter the path of transformation, but they have somehow or the other, because of the upbringing, missed the first two cycles of life, which are most important. That's why I mentioned the first two cycles in the life of Gautam Buddha, in the life of Krishnamurti, in the life of Vivekananda, in the life of Osho. So I will explain that. So staying, lying with darkness for 3 months, for 1 hour each day, will lose all feeling of individuality, of separation. Then you will not be an island. You will become an ocean. You will be one with darkness. And darkness is so oceanic. Nothing is as vast and as eternal as darkness. So I used to do this meditation many times on my own, and most of the times I had to spend time alone by myself. When I was growing, even that time, I would like to spend time by myself rather than spending with anyone, family members or others. And nothing is so near, and nothing is so scared and afraid. It is just by the corner, always waiting for you. So after doing this, I will take tomorrow the other few sessions. When I am finished with this particular sutra, will work on the technique of meditation for darkness. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.